vice versa when you go to the committee way. I want to propose to the members this afternoon listening to me that we go the committee route, Mr. Speaker, that we grant a committee 11 colleagues of ours who have been given an opportunity to go and listen and read and peruse the documents that have been produced before the Senate and come and convince this House of whatever finding they will get, either to impeach or to drop the charges. As a House, we shall be gathered again and be granted equally the opportunity to read a further refined report from the 11 colleagues of ours, men and women that I consider to be fully competent. You know, Mr. Speaker, I love the fact that in this House, and if you read the language of a constitution, is that it looks at us as 67 senators. I do not for any reason entertain the thought that there are senators who are better than others. We have different giftings, abilities. Some have been here longer, some have been here. And if you look at the proposal that has come to the committee, or the proposed committee that has been laid before us, has a mix of both. New members, ranking members, whichever. Men, women, elected, specially elected by way of nomination, has all the shades and colors. But of course, as is the nature of human beings, many people will say, why not me? And I want to discourage our colleagues from having such a view to life. Because if we begin transacting the business of Parliament and saying that any time a motion perhaps comes before the House, if so-and-so is not included, if myself am not included, then maybe for that particular reason, I may not necessarily support, then we wouldn't be sending a very good precedence about it. So I want to convince the House, and I want to propose to you, colleague senators, that given that this has come during a Christmas break, many of you perhaps were home with your families, with your constituents, with your loved ones, that we give the due attention that can be gotten, especially at this particular time, only by way of a committee, to have the time to listen to the presentations by a county assembly, let the governor come and defend herself as well, and then once the committee has concluded on the work, I'm sure we shall have, and we have by mandate of law, actually by provisions of the County Government Act, we have to be gathered here in the next 10 days and come and listen to the presentation of our colleagues on what they were able to establish in this particular case, Mr. Speaker. I want to also urge members, generally the Special Committee and even members of the Senate, not to be intimidated, because impeachment is not a very easy procedure. People have their opinions. Others want to cast us into a particular painting and lighting. You know, I've seen so much go around. I believe, Mr. Speaker, and I say this with authority, that every time the Senate has gathered itself to consider an impeachment motion, we are guided by the evidence that is provided before us. So there is no need to run a campaign around all the issues that are being brought before us, Mr. Speaker. Oh, this is a particular agenda issue. Men are being biased and things like that. You know, I've seen all these things and I felt, Mr. Speaker, I'm not speaking about the substance of a motion, but I'm speaking about the placing of Senate and why it is important to respect us as an institution, such that when matters are brought before us, you allow us the latitude, because these are men and women of integrity. They have the wherewithal to know what is right and what is wrong for a country. There's no need to run campaigns around us. Especially, for example, I've seen men being taunted and being reminded. You know, I'm a big champion of women in leadership. And I like when the campaign is run right, but also don't run it in a way that you are castigating men for the wrong reasons. You know, I have followed and I see the debate. We are being told, oh, you know, perhaps this infamous guitar-loving husband, that if it was a spouse of a male governor doing the same things that he's doing, you guys will not have a problem. But I want to challenge them and ask them, please show me the spouse of a male governor who goes into altercation with the leaders of that particular county. You will not find any. You know, therefore, even as we convince the House and speak about the issues that are being brought before this particular, allow the Senate the space to carry out its duty without necessarily running any particular theories around us on what should guide us and what shouldn't. Let members make a decision either way, either to impeach or not to impeach. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge my colleagues, without taking a lot of time, because I believe we'd wish to hear the opinion of our